You're listening to Inside the Channel, presented by Get Wireless, a platform built to showcase the voices, stories, and insights shaping the future of the channel. Through conversations with partners, vendors, carriers, and industry leaders, we aim to bring you meaningful perspectives on the trends, challenges, and opportunities driving our ecosystem forward. And now to your host, the Chief Marketing Officer of Get Wireless, Terra Bastolich.
Hey guys, welcome back to Inside the Channel. We're here live at Channel Partners. Really excited to have our Verizon friends with us, and one of my, I'll call you a dear friend now, and one of the largest partners that we work with in this community, in the channel community, Mark Tina, as well as Ben Harding is joining me from our connectivity team.
Good to be
here.
here.
So we're really excited to have you. I'm going to let Mark do a quick introduction of himself, and then we're going to dig in a little deeper on you.
Sounds good. It is awesome to be here. Thank you for having me. My name is Mark Tina. I lead indirect distribution for Verizon Business. Been with the company for over 20 years, but the past few as channel chief have been some of my favorite years.
Well, we're really excited to have you. I know we've been planning this for a while. It's been on my bucket list, and we're going to dig in a little bit on you. And I know we briefed you a little bit, but one of the key core things that we talk about, and you've said this as well, is this is about the people in this industry.
Yes.
And we really believe in that as well. And we believe a lot of really good people. And that's why we consider you not only a colleague, but a friend, and we trust you. And I think we want to learn more about you. Yeah. We want to hear, you've got a great story at Verizon. You've got a great story. So tell us about your first job in the industry and how what's been the journey since then.
All right. So I graduated college on a Thursday and started AT&T that following Monday. Worked for AT&T as an account executive in the Westchester County area of New York. Loved it. Loved knocking on doors. Loved prospecting. Loved getting to know new people, new ideas, innovation. I genuinely loved working at AT&T. I was there for 3 or 4 years. Last role was a government account manager in the city of New York. And then I was recruited to come to Verizon. I've now been at Verizon for the last 23 years of my career. It has been fantastic. And what I love about that is that my role has changed and stretched me and grown me constantly. And so each role I've taken has been something different, something new, something fresh. And the company has afforded me the ability to just take on those new challenges, provided me a lot of tools, a lot of resources, a lot of benefit. I leveraged our tuition assistance program to go back and get my master's degree, which was awesome, which I appreciated. And I can go on and on about my Verizon career. I don't know how long you want me to talk about that. So,
well, we want to hear, what were were there, bumps in the journey? I mean, I think it's a great narrative to hear that you use that tuition program. I mean, that's huge for people that are looking to expand their education, and working for a company like Verizon that's a benefit to them. And it's a part of a journey that allows people to get on the path that maybe they weren't able to do with the means of their family too.
Yeah.
Well, and it was literally a journey. You were carrying a bag from the word go, right?
Correct.
Right out of college. You were carrying a bag, knocking on doors, and you kind of saw the business side of things from the word jump.
Yeah. I mean, let's say from the get. Get wireless.
There you go. I like it.
There you go. But yeah, carrying the bag right from the get, as we say here. But I will tell you, there were definitely bumps along the journey, right? And that's part of the learning. That's part of the growth. I think that if you don't have any bumps and you don't make any mistakes, you're probably not playing hard enough. So just to walk through, when I rejoined Verizon, I want to talk actually about this. What I would say is sometimes you take a step back to take several steps forward, right? So where I had gotten to AT&T was, let's call it a senior individual contributor role on the higher end of the earnings for an individual contributor, and then took a step back to sort of the entry level at Verizon, which was account executive, knocking on doors again, no account module, starting from scratch, which I loved. And again, what did I gain? It was a whole new company. It was a whole new culture. It was all these, new people, new customers, new clients. But then as I grew in my role, I became a leader very quick and early on at Verizon, probably within 12 or 13 months, because I had industry experience. But as a leader, I was a sales manager in Manhattan, which was an awesome place to be. At the time, literally a territory is sometimes only a block in Manhattan. Forget about a zip code.
But straight up.
That's it. Let's go. And so I realized managing that team, I need to learn more. before I ascend further into leadership, I again took a step back to being an individual contributor to handle, at the time it was major account manager, which was today global enterprise accounts.
Okay.
So I learned how to manage and lead and sell and network into major accounts. I remember my first one was ADP, which is a massive organization. And I did that. After that, I said, you know what? Government and public sector is very important. And I took another individual contributor job there so that I can learn what it was like to sell to the government and learn more about the government. Probably my favorite job to date at that time. It was the owner of the City of New York account. So think FDNY, NYPD, Office of Emergency Management. It was an exciting job. I had a whole team of people around me, still an individual contributor, and loved it. I say all that to say, again, remember, sometimes it's the step back for the steps forward. From there, I jumped up a couple of levels into a more senior leadership role, running government and public sector business throughout all of New England, and relocated with my family the first time at that point. So bumps like that, where might feel like a bump, might feel like a bruise, but you learn and you benefit.
Yeah. I mean, that's quite the journey. I mean, it is. And I think it goes back to being able to adapt and change. And that's one of the things we see as a core competency that we need in channel leadership too, is things are going to change. And if you're not willing to change, you're not willing to take those journeys and make those moves, none of us are going to be successful. So that's funny. Is there any other advice you would give to young, people coming into this industry, people that are trying to kind of move up, whether that's inside the Verizon community or if it's external in the channel or anywhere, I guess?
I love that question. And I will say, believe in yourself, be confident, be bold, go big. And sometimes it might feel like imposter syndrome. Sometimes myself, I'm like, do I belong here? And yes, you belong here. Believe in yourself, do your homework, put your practice in, make sure you show up, make sure you're learning, make sure you're growing. But when you believe in yourself and you do that for the right reasons, then that's how you're going to build relationships. You're going to create outcomes. You're going to get things done, quite frankly. And so I would say, believe in yourself, put the work in. I will give you, maybe I'm going to answer a question you're going to ask me. Are you going to ask me my best piece of career advice? I have a feeling.
Yes, we are going to ask you that.
I knew it.
But I'm going to add on to that before you give me that, because I think one of the things that I appreciate the most is that belief of just putting it out there. Since the day I met you, and I'm not afraid to put things out there, as you probably have learned as in our relationship, right? But you being honest, being able to put that thing out there, being confident, and being willing to have a voice and say, hey, let's get this done. How are we going to get it done? There's not this fluffiness that I really appreciate that about you. I have to say that, because it is what we get, and it's genuine. And I think that's what makes the trust in the relationship that we have with you and with Verizon. And sometimes we've had some very hard conversations that have been extremely good for the relationship, even though maybe one felt like somebody won and somebody lost in that decision. But I think that's a big difference of what we see too. I
feel the same way, Terra. Listen, that's where growth happens. If it's not a difficult conversation, it's probably not a growth conversation.
It's true.
And I will say it, we won't get into the details. There's been things you've asked for that I hated having to say, I don't think we can do that, right? But that's part of the relationship. And to your point, it's about being real about what happens. And I truly value the partnership that we have with you all.
Well, we appreciate that. We appreciate that honesty. Yeah. So before we dig in a little more on the Verizon portion of in the channel, which is what we're here to talk about, give us that piece of advice, because I think everybody would love to hear it.
Yeah. So it's be where your feet are. And I know how simple that sounds, but it's real. And there's days to this day that I sometimes forget that. And I hear the person's voice in my head, Mark, be where your feet are, right? So I tell you this, listen, it took me a long time. I have two, I'll call them almost grown children, 18 and 15, right? But early on, I was all about work. I was all about career. And I was, of course, caring for my children and loving them. But this person would say to me, when was the last time you were at Nicholas and Mark are my kids' names, practice? I don't want to hear about the championship game you showed up at or the graduation you showed up at. When was the last time you were at one of their practices? And that really resonated with me. And it was be where your feet are. If you are at the ice hockey rink, which is what my kids love to play. They were just in Minnesota, which we talked about for the national championship. They won the state championship, but they got smoked in Minnesota, just to be clear. Just saying.
It happens. We're good at hockey.
You guys do not mess around. That's for sure.
We have nothing else to do. So.
But I will say, be at the hockey rink. Right. Watch the game. Don't be on your phone. Understand the game. How is your child listening to the coach? Are they paying attention? Are they in the game? Are they motivated? Are they passionate? Are they having fun? Like, you got to pick up the signals. When you are in a meeting, pay attention to who's talking. Don't listen to respond. Listen to understand about what is happening in that meeting. So I think it sounds so simple, but about being where your feet are. But again, going back to what I said, when you have confidence in yourself and what you do, and you're truly engaged in whatever you're doing, personal, professional, whatever, you're going to excel. You're going to win, and you're going to get it done. And if not, you'll learn something. And
the impact you make at that time with where your feet are is what's going to get you to the next step. Or I think sometimes people look too far down the road and you don't concentrate on where you are. Like you said, you're distracted by something else that's out there. Yeah. So I would have to look at my phone, which I wouldn't do during this. I took a picture of it. I was in whatever state I was in. It's always a different state. And it was on a wall. And ultimately, and I'll look up the exact quote, but what it's basically saying is, when you live in the past, you live in regret. When you live in the future, you kind of live in anxiety. But when you live in the now is when you live. And that's not the exact quote, but that's ultimately what it said. And I'm like, be where your feet are. It does. That it's very, I mean, it makes sense. And I think that's good personally and professionally, right? Like you kind of have to think of it that way. I know I have to talk to my children about that, and like, hey, think about this, or, my son plays hockey as well, right? Like we're talking about like, well, what team is your next path? And it's like, just be focused on this season and what you're doing. And we're not going to talk about who's calling you later, right? We're going to deal with today, and you're going to go out and be the best that you can be, and you're going to have fun. And then we're going to talk about whatever team's calling for next year down the road, right? Kind of set that aside. I think it's good personal advice and professional advice, because we also see people that are in this industry. The good people that are in this industry are the people that are making a difference where they are today, and they're being respected for it, versus the people that are hopping around in here. You get a reputation, and you're not present all the time, and it's challenging. I think it's interesting that that's career advice, right? Because it so much affects your personal life. Yeah. But if you can dial in your personal life and be fully focused in your career when you're present in that mode, you're going to be successful. So that's great advice. Exactly right. Yeah. And I think that's a good advice for the channel in particular. And let's dig into that, because we're at Channel Partners. I think everybody's saying we're having a great event. I know we've had a great event. We've seen more partners here than we've ever had. I think there's a true testament, and I said this to every carrier partner that I've met with, is that you guys have really brought a lot to this event. And I do think that it shows the investment and the commitment for the carriers coming in and believing in the channel. And that's both, financially investing in this event, but also just the presence of having the people here and having those meetings and just really taking care of the channel. And I think this is a testament to it. And I think if you guys weren't doing this, this would be a very different event. Yeah. So we're happy with that. And I'll say in particular to Verizon, I think some of the other players are coming in here with less runway behind them. I think Verizon's been doing a really great job in the program in general. And I think every time I sit on the pack, and I should get this framed someday. This will be the one thing Terra says every time she's involved with the Verizon pack is, you guys have a great program. Yeah. Like people ask me all the time, like, what do you want to change? What do you want to change? And I love the fact that you guys ask me, because I'm not afraid to give my opinions, as everybody knows. But the first opinion is always, don't change something that's not broken. And you guys have done a great job. There's been studies and investments made to study your program, right? So be confident in what you're doing. You're doing a great job, but we also are seeing the evolution and an investment. So I want you to tell us what what's changing, what's getting better, because I think your narrative is different than to say, well, we're now in the channel. No, we've been in the channel. We've been doing this, the joke is I've been doing this since you've been kicking the slats out of your crib. Like this is what we've been doing, but what's making it even better? You just made me feel so good when you described our channel program. I can't even explain it. And I am so excited to answer you, because I am in a place now that I am more confident than I have ever been
with our indirect distribution strategy at Verizon. So I come from Queens, New York. I'll quote a little LL Cool J. Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years, and that is real.
Right.
We've been here for decades. We've been doing wireline through the channel, and that's really where it started. Believe it or not, I actually introduced mobility to the channel in a completely different role. I was not in the channel. TJ Fox, one of our senior leaders at the time, said, hey, some of our partners that are only selling wireline, I really think that they could, take advantage of mobility. What do you think? I said, let's go talk to them, TJ. And here we are, right? And so let me jump in. So I've been in this role, I said 23 years at Verizon, first 20 were all in direct sales and sales leadership, which I've loved every bit of. Through those years, I leveraged channel partners to win as an individual seller, as a team leader. Mm-hmm. And frankly, my last role was vice president of the Eastern US. It was rare that I closed a solution deal with my team that did not have a channel partner.
That's awesome.
So always had a love of the channel. Mm-hmm. At the time, I was rolling into our CRO, and I would say to her, I kind of want to lead the channel. What do you think? And she's like, well, it's kind of spread out. It's in a lot of different places. And I said, hey, pull it together. I want to really launch the channel for Verizon. And she said, you're going to step out of your post, the Eastern US, to do that? And I said, let's go. And when that happened, and that was about 3 years ago, right? And I will tell you, over the last 3 years, the job, and I've learned it, of being a channel chief is a lot of internal education and helping the corporation to understand this is the value of the partner community. Yeah. This is what the partners can bring. This is how we can differentiate. And I'm somebody that does get pretty impatient. I tell my team all the time, hey, did we put points
I don't believe it.
Yeah. Did we put points on the board yet? What's going on?
Stuff
right?
Done.
Yeah. And so my whole thing is that it took a little bit of time over the last 3 years to really gain traction. Yeah. I can go on and on about this. So I'm going to make it brief here. Just this past November, I remember the exact day, our CEO, Kyle Milady, made a major decision to put a stake in the ground and say, you know what? The channel will be a very, very significant contributor to our overall business. And he moved the channel into his direct organization. I report directly into Kyle. We also took all of those resources that I mentioned, and it was everything was great. We just had teams in global enterprise and PubSec and business market. We had different product teams, marketing teams, et cetera. But to pull everything together into one centralized organization with the seat at that table has been an absolute game changer. And I'm telling you that if you've been excited about Verizon, we are just getting started. We are 90 days into this, and I am fired up about what is to come. I'm not just bragging about Kyle because he's my boss. I am bragging about him because, first of all, he has built our network. He's been here for 37 years since he was in high school, our wireless network, our wireline network, and he understands partner community, awesome. The value of a trusted partner relationship. And he has made this bet in me. It's personal for me. And so I'm ready to take this thing and drive it harder than we've ever driven it before. And the time is now.
And I think that's the commitment that partners always want to see from any carrier, anybody that you're, investing with your business with, whether that's a vendor, a carrier partner, an ecosystem partners, they want to see that commitment all the way to the top. Because if you don't have that and they go, yeah, we're in the channel now. And it's like, yeah, but if you go 3 layers above, they can't spell it. I think that's the difference. I think the good news is that, we're excited as well. Get Wireless could not be more excited about the growth and the potential. And again, we want to be right there with you. We want to be a part of it, but we've seen good legacy. And I think that's also, again, a testament to a strong program. And there's always changes, and that's the thing. You guys rolled really well with changes, things that, there's been, you have to make change, I believe, in a channel environment at some point, and sometimes quite often, to continue to evolve, right? We have the technology changes. We have to change our business models. We have to evolve, right? There's lots of ways that we have to evolve every day. And that's how any of the partners are. And we see the same thing. Verizon's just evolving, and we think it's only in a good way. That's what you're seeing as you work with the team every day.
Yeah,
right?
For sure. And I was going to say, do you think that's what's changing with a seat at the table, that they're seeing the benefits of channel up the stack all the way to the C-suite?
100%.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'll give a great example. Our product teams over the years, right? very smart people. We have best in class product, obviously, for many, many years, riding on the best network there is, was, or ever will be, in my opinion. And what happens there is, for years and years, it was always a direct sales first thought process of who's going to sell this product and how is it going to work. Having a seat at the table with our chief product officer, Scott Lawrence, he's awesome. He understands the channel, as well as our chief marketing officer in Iris, understanding the channel as well. We now think about channel partners first, and how can our partners help us, and what can our partners lead with and lean into, whether it's a different geography, a different vertical, a different product type. And I'm going to get even more specific. When you think of POTS replacement, right, and you think of copper replacement, it is a massive $10 billion addressable market to this day, which frankly, a lot of that market is ours on our copper, and there's plenty of competitive copper out there. Look, our channel partners is how we win in the POTS replacement game. Make no mistake about it. So just wanted to be specific about how having that seat really helps the channel to be a first look versus a afterthought.
Yeah, they're being considered in the strategy.
Correct.
Right, is what you're saying. Exactly. That's amazing.
Well, it's amazing. I mean, there's a lot of little tiny details in a deal that are overlooked sometimes by even in an operator's case, where they go, yeah, we can light that up, whatever connected technology that is. But there's the details in how does that get installed? What is the value of service? How do they handle support? Like sometimes that part is overlooked when they just go, yeah, we can make that work, but how do we keep it working and how do we get it deployed? And that's where channel partners come in. I mean, very strategically in a lot of these deals, because they do the install wrong, nobody makes money, right? You guys don't get the connections. We don't get the hardware sales. None of that happens.
So you're going to hold my hand and come to talk to our finance department. And I mean this in a great way, because I've done this and finance even understands at this point. Yeah. I think in the old days it was and it's exactly what you just said. It was well, how much are we paying that partner to drop ship a router or whatever it is? And I have focused so hard on, let me explain something here.
Let me tell you what's going on.
There is a whiteboarding pre-sales process that is very technical, that is very important, that frankly our direct sellers don't have the time to do. That takes place. Then there's the truck roll. Then there's the installation. Then there is activation. And then there's this thing called day 2 support.
Yeah. Right. So post-deployment, right?
And so whether we're talking about one talk or a router or whatever it may be, who's taking those calls? I will tell you, and I don't think we should get into names here, but one of your top VARs has analytics on this is how many calls I field for your one talk solutions in year 1, in year 2, in year 3. And I'm like, pay the partner.
One talk is a great example where the partner needs to be, you're like, you are good at that. You keep doing that. And I agree. I mean, I'd love to have happy to, accompany you in any of those conversations. It's great. Let's take them into our booth and say, you pick out the router. I'm going to give you a scenario and you pick out the router off of my table, right? Like that's exactly the level of knowledge that they have. It's not, you don't just grab that router and everybody knows what technology they need. You know how many times we see like carrier direct programs where they're drop shipping hardware because it's carrier sold, and they will ship a router that doesn't have an antenna on it. I mean, think about that. Like, think about that can happen, and it's a reality a lot of times. And it's like, that's, it doesn't tough. Work, right? Even how your network's great, but without an antenna, your network doesn't work at all, right? So like, it's just interesting, those conversations that happen with those partners.
My smile might be getting bigger because I have a story to tell. Working at Verizon, everything I have is connected, my laptop, my tablet, et cetera, et cetera. I do have a MacBook that's not. Okay. Could probably get a little jetpack, whatever. I now travel with one of your VAR's router. It is portable. It has mini antennas. It is incredible. And at this very event, I cannot tell you how many people either had Wi-Fi issue. Somebody in my organization has it right now, and I'm a little annoyed that it's not in my
You got to get it back.
It even looks cool. It's so cool. And I keep pulling it out of my bag, and people are like, Mark, what are you doing? And I'm like, this is amazing. Like, look at what we have. But to your point, the antennas were in the box. Everything was in the box. I had a 30-minute demonstration. I can run the portal myself. I actually feel like I know what I'm doing.
You renamed it Mark's Super Hotspot.
I mean, I'm not giving that thing up. If you want $50 an hour, if you want to use it, whatever you need.
You'll rent it out.
But it's just so good in all seriousness.
It's different. I mean, it is different. We look at those deployments. It's funny when you hear those stories. I remember my son came to me one day. I was sitting in the car and I travel with a router as well, sitting in my car doing some work. And he comes right now. He's like, we're supposed to be doing film right now and the internet in the rink is down. I told the whole team that you sell internet. Yeah. So can I have the internet?
The internet in the ice hockey rink is always down.
Yeah. It's always down. And he comes in, he's got this router and everything. He's like, I know how it works. And like he gets it in, plugged in, and he's, saved film for the boys to watch and prepare for their game. So it's funny because it's fun when you can save the day with that,
it's
right?
So good.
Oh man. So again, I know we talked a lot about the investments and things that are kind of coming up. What do you see as things that are maybe being overlooked today? Like partners are overlooking or people are missing out on. I mean, I know we can't go through any sort of meeting without talking about AI, but I don't want to talk about AI. I'm talking about more just any opportunity that helps in our channel or things that people are maybe looking past.
You said it earlier, whether you said it or not, but it's the people. It's the connection and it's the trust. And when it's a revolving door and you don't know who the partner is, or you're onto your 14th, person in however much time, to me, you can't put a price tag on that. You can't overlook that. I will tell you, as long as Kyle and Verizon keep having confidence in me in this role, this is where I want to be, to keep continuity, to keep this thing going, to drive it, to be here. I'm a member of several different councils, or whatever you want to call it, around the channel. One of them being the SEC. It's the Chief Executive Council. They shared a stat with me recently that blew me away. It was that the average channel chief in the industry, technology industry, let me be clear, lasts 16 months. So I'm happy to say I'm far beyond that. And I'm even more happy to say I hope I keep it going, because really I think that what you said, people, like corporations, underestimate that. Like, oh yeah, whatever. It'll just be another account manager. Everything will be fine. That matters. The people relationship matters. People that understand the program, the ins and outs, the roadblocks. I tell you, I feel like a little bit of an OG in the channel now. Just earlier today, it's going to say it. One of our employees came in and said, let me tell you about this, this, and this about a partner. And I say, well, let me tell you about what happened with that partner 5 years ago. And it's like, boom. Because you've got that continuity, you've got that experience, you've got that knowledge. You can't put a price tag on that. And I think that you cannot overlook the human factor. And I talk about it in my keynotes all the time. And with AI, it's very easy to forget the human factor. AI is going to replace humans. AI is going to do this, it's going to do that. Without that human factor and that connectivity tissue, you're going to lose. You're going to lose.
It's very true. We actually are doing a segment so an acquisition, right? Because we've seen 3 acquisitions in 6 partners of ours, all under that all work with us, right? So I'm sure there's more, but 3, and I'm sure majority of them as Verizon partners as well. And we were talking about that, and I talked with them, and they said it all comes down to the reason that those acquisitions are happening, and they're more like partnerships. They're not even acquisitions, not the right word. One has to kind of eat the other, but at the end of the day, they call it a marriage, and that's exactly it. And they go, this is because of the people. It's because of the people that we've met coming to. They've even, given me some credit, and like we've met them at your events where we felt comfortable, even though we're competitors, maybe 2 of ours sitting next to each other. They go, hey man, like, are you guys dealing with this problem? And like, we are. And like, they're having conversations, and then they maybe lead to something more meaningful. Maybe they just help each other solve the problem, but that comes down to those people. And I think that's the true testament we're seeing in the channel as well. And we're gonna lean in when we have good relationships. Like we have a tremendous Verizon team that we work with, and I think that's the same thing that our partners, and we'll see if we have to introduce them to the new person every time. And there's just this like revolving door. It's definitely different. And we say the same thing to our VARs. Like, we'll do business with you because of some of those people. You do business with people you like and people you trust, and it's never going to change. And we will also help them figure out how I can make an introduction. So if there's anybody ever listening to this or anybody, if you call me and say, hey, do you know anybody in this? I will absolutely make a connection for you. Mm-hmm. Ben will make a connection for you. I'll call you and say, hey, Mark, I'm looking to try to get in touch with this organization. Do you have a contact? You sit on this board. Maybe you have a connection. Like, we help each other out. We don't be like, hey, what's that going to do for you? And how is that going to benefit only Get Wireless? Or no, that's not the question ever.
And you don't have to dig too deep, right? Even if we don't know who that connection is, we know somebody 2 people removed of who's going to make that introduction.
We do.
Make that connection.
That has been, you asked me for best career advice, a little different than career advice. Hey, Mark, like, what's some of the reasons you've been so successful? It's exactly what you all just mentioned. Like, if I know how to get it done, I will do it myself. That's always my preference because I truly, genuinely love to help people. Yep. I do. Hold the door for somebody.
Yes.
All the way to let's close a massive deal together. But at the end of the day, if I don't know how to get something done, I know who to call.
I'll find it for you.
And I'll just real quick movie reference. I love movies. George Clooney plays Michael Clayton as a lawyer in a movie, but he's actually not a lawyer of any specific type. Mm-hmm. Depending on what the client needs, he's got a guy.
I've got a guy.
He's got a guy or a lady, whatever it may be. Yeah. Right. Yep. But at the end of the day, listen, technology's real. It's complex. It's big. The needs are massive. You're not going to be able to do it yourself. It's the genesis of why the channel exists.
Right.
So at the end of the day, if you can't do it, who can, and can you help me get there?
Right. Yeah, exactly. That is exactly what we see and what we see in our community. And that's what we want as the Get Wireless feel, is that you come into our community, you come into our family. Like, we want to know you. We want to know you. We want to know your wife. We want to know about your kids. We want to understand you. We want to be friends. Like, we want to feel like, and we want you to feel like you can trust us. And we know that not every conversation is going to always be perfect.
You're making me upset. I've missed the last couple of your events right now.
Well, you're not going to miss the next one.
There's another one coming up.
All right.
I'm gonna Sharpie it onto your hand before I leave. Right. We're gonna make it work. So as we conclude, the one thing I wanted to say is, first of all, thank you for being
we have to conclude. I'm having so much fun right now.
We'll have you back.
I think they're gonna cut us off pretty soon, but you can come back whenever you want.
Oh, wow.
And you got to come to Minneapolis.
I love it. Let's go.
Come to Minneapolis. You come. We'll do this whenever you're available. I'd love to have you on. So, but we just want to thank you for the support. We couldn't not say Bad of the Year 2 years in a row. That has to get said. So thank you for that.
Stole my closing. I was going to congratulate you
every once in a while.
We had to pat ourselves. The thing that I always tell people is, like, we take a lot of pride in it. We believe that you guys see pride in it as well.
We do.
But for a company of our size and a company that is much different than our competitors, it's so meaningful. I mean, it literally touched everybody in our building when that was announced. And like, awesome. To the people that the shipping team is cheering, like it really means a lot. We really strive to be there. And we know that comes from the support of your organization to look at us differently, not put us in a category that's different. Put us in a category that says you guys are meaningful to us and this is why. So it's really important. So we just want to thank you for that. And thank you for being here with me. And I would love to have you anytime that you'd like to come back.
Yeah, I want to thank you for all of your hard work, for all of your effort. Congratulations on being our VAD of the year. Okay. And I think you will continue to see that success as this relationship grows. I am fully committed to this partnership, but to our relationship, even just seeing your faces makes me happy. And whenever my team will say, Mark, we know you're busy, we know what you're doing, all this other stuff, but whether it's Terra or Ben or Brian, I'm like, whoa, what's going on? What's happening? These are family members of ours. And so I think that means something when somebody says we're family.
For sure.
Yeah.
You can't just throw that around. I really feel like we have a family-like environment, and we may go months without seeing each other or talking, but just know that I am always here for Get Wireless. I am always here for the things that you need. And I really, truly value and appreciate this partnership very much.
Well, we like that. And we'll see you at the family reunion in October.
Let's go.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.